Greetings, weary traveler. Come, warm yourself by the fire and let us regale you with mighty tales, tales of heroism, tales of adventure, Tales of Tamriel. I am your host Arkhaniir, the new and returning host. And with me today, we have the frozen, broken founder himself who did not let me ban Guar Talk from this show by using his founder powers. Apparently they still outrank being the host of the show. How are you doing, Ag, if you're still alive there?
I am here. How are you?
I'm doing good as well. How was
By
that
the way,
for you?
you mispronounced my name.
What?
It's Arkhaniir.
No.
Arkhaniir is how it's pronounced now. I'm now officially known as Arkhaniir.
I thought your name was Altmerelos, but I did not want to mention it on the show. But if you so wish, from now on, you shall be called Altmerelos. So, if you want to go down this way,
yeah, I'm doing good. I'm doing good.
At my desk. So how was not being able to hear anything for 7 minutes while the show starts?
Oh my goodness, that was insane! I'm
weird,
like, you guys go through that each and every week. I'm just like,
Yep. Well, actually,
the time
there's
to
a
contemplate.
Yeah. There's a very
do
small
well
trick.
at
You
that,
can
really.
you can just start the stream and listen it. You know, that's one
Really,
thing.
so I try to let people come into the show, so I try to give them enough time, but I can hear the music, so I'm just rocking out. I'm sitting here going, are we going? Like, did Ark like die? I know I got a message about drop frames. I'm like, did we stop the stream? Like,
Yeah, no, you have about 7 seconds to contemplate your life right before the show.
Yep. And of course that voice is belongs
And my
to
Khajiit.
Lotus or what?
One Khajiit
other
who's going in for the
co-host.
kill on Ag.
Yeah.
right for the jugular. I'm telling you. Yeah, you're sweet. Ow, she bit me.
Well, that you deserve it.
Ow, she bit me again.
What a spectacular start. Hi, everybody.
Yeah. He's just sabotaging at this point. So how are you doing, Lotus? Except for
I'm pretty
losing a
good.
part of your
I'm pretty good.
lung.
I'm much better than I was about 15 minutes ago. Had a mild mishap that caused my lungs to feel like they were going to explode, but I'm good now.
All right, that's good to hear because we have a show to do. Nothing else matters, but
Yes, I'm tanking my way through real life as well.
And Promethean, how are you doing?
I'm doing all right, except for the part where I'm getting major lag between everything right now.
Of course, you were fine a second ago.
I mean, technical difficulties gotta happen.
Just to throw more technical difficulties in here.
Yeah,
Ark, why aren't you using a chroma key with me and then having a nice background in the back?
because none of us have it, so you shall not as well.
Oh, come on!
Also, I forgot to set it up.
Downgraded.
Also, I don't know how to set it up, so there are
All right, we'll talk after show.
there are multiple reasons for it. My internet seems to be stabilized, so we can, I suppose, start the show. But before we do, thanks to everyone who supports us over at Patreon or being on like Twitch subs, bits, everything that, you know, helps support the show and the overall DCN to keep all the shows going. Thank you all so very much. Ag, I don't see any names in the list, so I assume
We actually just got 2 today, and I did not put them on. Let me go ahead and pull that up for you real quickly. We actually didn't have any when I was writing in those part of the notes, but we actually had 3 new pledges since the last time. That would be Travis Howard, not related to, Todd Howard. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe it is.
So, all right, I'm going to just change that to Todd Howard now supports the show.
T. Howard. T. Howard
Yes,
now
T. Howard,
supports the show.
you're the best.
Thank you so much. We also have Angelique James and Donald Fleming. Thank you so much for supporting us over at patreon.com/Dungeon Crawler Network. You help keep the metaphorical torches lit and these shows coming each and every week.
Exactly. Well, the reason for it is that I don't have access to those lists, so I am depending on Aggelos to put them into the show notes.
They literally
But-
only came in like an hour ago.
An hour
Like
is
while I
a lot
was
of time.
streaming. I
An hour
was
is-
streaming.
I've been writing these show notes all the time. I've been a co-host in like last 10 minutes, Ag. It can be done.
Fair.
So that's how it works.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
Just-
you've been in our pre-shows. It's literally a.
Yeah, it's
So
true.
what happened, guys? What happened this week?
I always thought, like, when I was streaming, I was like, man, people put so much effort into this, and you have like high production values when I listen to you guys and the other podcasts. And then it was like, oh no, everyone's a dumpster fire. I get it.
Yep.
Like, okay, this all works.
It's a controlled dumpster fire.
Yeah, you just gotta you just section off the area with some wet zone around it, and
Yeah.
it can't spread. No.
Yeah.
Everyone shows a dumpster fire. It's just how many dumpsters
It
it
falls in the
right to,
fire.
Yeah,
When
that's
everything is on fire, you can't tell the difference. So
Exactly.
Yep. I mean, that 7-minute song before the show is for us to actually create the show. That's when everything happens. While you are listening to that amazing music, we just put in everything.
That is true. I actually was typing in my notes while that was playing.
I've done that before.
Yeah.
in there.
Also, we still have some dropped frames, so if the stream goes buffering and things like that, I am sorry, but I am locally recording this as well, so the recorded version should be well and good. But anyone who is watching live right now, I am sorry if the stream experiences technical difficulties. Wow, what an official way to say that things are not good.
Yeah.
But
But it was very diplomatic sounding.
Your
yeah.
Patreon dollars are going to good use.
You can make up for it by sending a Guar picture to Arkhaniir's Twitter every time we lose a frame.
that would be 3,597
Oh my.
pictures. I would dare everyone to try that.
I wished I had like a screenshot of when you pulled the guar out of the box and just had it by the tail on your screen the other day, and you were just
Galisner
like,
has it.
That's such a
no.
funny picture.
That was
Yeah,
literally,
Galisner has it.
I was watching it in the airport, and I was like, "This is the moment where like I think everyone thinks I'm crazy."
But yeah, Galisner has it. I'll link it to you sometime. But
that's
we have a
fantastic.
show to continue despite the technical difficulties. I say we start with our tales. And Aggelos, now that you are a co-host, why don't you start first?
Oh, I get to start for. Oh, well, absolutely. I would be.
I love it.
Incredibly happy to start first because I have some awesome tales this week. So, obviously, for last week's show and whatnot, Mid-Year Mayhem was still ongoing, so we were still kind of messing around with that. And I was on my main, just playing around, having a good time, doing a lot of quests in Burma. Because we often had it. It's close to the Ebonheart Pact area because, Pact for the win, because Pact is the only right choice to have here.
Yep.
And
Correct.
I actually, even after mid-year, I timed it so that I got enough event tickets to really get, I actually have enough to buy a second Indrik mount now. I bought
Oh,
my other
wow.
feather. It's all ready to go.
Nice.
I just need to essentially, combine them together, but I haven't because I don't want to, I don't know what it'll do because I still
If you already have
yeah.
a Mason, you haven't evolved it into the Dawn.
I'm
Whatever it is.
actually curious.
Do you-
Do it.
I was wondering that too. Do
I don't wanna
you
lose
think
it.
do you think it'll give you 2 nascents in your
No, I bet it
collectibles?
won't let you.
Yeah, it'll
Yeah,
probably
my
say you
guess
already
is on
own
that
this
as well.
item.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I bet it will. It'll probably just lock it and just be like, yeah, you can't do this. Like,
Mhm.
And that would be the hope because I wouldn't want to lose it.
Yeah.
But I had timed it. I literally signed in, remoted in, and signed in to make sure I could turn it in on the Monday that it was closing by the time it was over. So I got my 10, and then I pretty much just continued to play in Burma. Like I was exploring that entire area because of how much I love that entire area. I forgot how much I love that part of Cyrodiil.
yeah.
I fought the Dark Anchor like a dozen times.
Oh, the one that drops in Bruma, like
Yeah.
on the
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Right next to the
in
town.
Burma, on the city.
Mm-hmm.
It was, yeah, I did that. I fought a lot of people because they're, oddly enough, DC tends to hover around that area too because it's probably the closest town to them as well.
Yeah, we kind of split trade that one. No, it absolutely is. That's like literally the 50% mark on the north between us at EP and the DC.
Yeah,
So,
because
like,
AD's got the lower two. I think they can get Blasters and Cropsford.
Yeah,
when
the
they're
Cyrus and
relatively
Cropsford.
close.
So those are kind of theirs.
Yeah,
And,
and I mean, I guess we got Chadenhall.
Right, that's pretty much
Yeah.
always ours.
And what do they have? What's the other one? I think it's the one where you meet Martin Septum the first time. Coral.
Yeah, they get
Coral.
Coral.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
So they get Coral, and then isn't there another one, or is there only 5 villages? I think there's only 5.
I think there's
Yeah, there's just 5.
Okay,
Yeah.
so the Stinking AD get 2 that are essentially so far south that it's theirs, and we kind of share custody of one.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I made it my mission to defend that place. For no other reason than whenever I signed in, I'd sign in to get my rewards, and I did all that. And then I'm like, let's go out and see if the Dark Anchor's up. It almost always is.
Oh, yeah.
And Martin is in Kvatch. Okay, Kvatch. Right.
Oh, yeah, because you get the Kvatch Arena and everything there now.
Yeah. Yeah. True. Yeah, I thought Coral was close, but yeah. So, yeah, they have Coral. So I'm up there. I do the Dark. I got like one of the achievements for one of the generals. I think I'm only missing like I'm only missing like 3 generals now to actually get like whatever the title is for destroying all of his generals.
That's a cool one.
There is excuse me, I hate Sorks. I hate them with every fiber of my being.
Welcome to the Sork Haters Club.
Yeah, Sorks and Nightblades, man. Give me a twitch.
That's how I feel about Dragon Knights.
I don't mind.
Nightblades annoy me because they go invisible and I'm gonna smash their face in.
That's
Exactly.
me. I am
It's
that
like-
Nightblade.
Damn it.
Yeah, but with biting jabs, I often hit them right out of stealth anyway.
Yeah, that's my
Right,
problem. I hit them with
yeah.
like an invasion, and I swear to God, they're like falling and going invisible. I was like, dude, are you screwing with me? Like,
Right. No, it's pretty much there's this me and this one sword. And now I wasn't wearing any of my PvP gear, so that was probably also part of the issue. I was able to put up most of a fight, and it really kind of went back and forth to who got the jump on the other person. But those Sorks and their stupid like anytime I was getting the upper hand, it would just
Bolt
port away.
escape.
Yeah, over and over and over again.
Yep.
And it's like, I know he's coming back, so there I am, walking at 3 feet a second, and he's just real pain in the rear.
That
Anyway,
sums up my battleground experiences. Yeah, I mean, it's like you start smashing down someone. Oop, they're invisible. They're running away. And you start smashing someone. And, they bolt escape. They're gone now. So it's like, come on, just stay
to be
still.
fair, like, although the fear thing is super annoying too, when they pop out of that, you get that stupid fear effect, which I can't stand. It's still less irritating than the unbreakable rune cage and slots.
Oh yeah.
Because that
And
was
Slow-
literally like, okay, this is unbearable.
Slodes was the time I like drifted away from ESO because the battlegrounds just became unplayable for me.
Well, even Slodes is irritating, like, and it was really, really frustrating. But it was the rune cage thing where it was like, I cast rune cage on you. Okay, it takes double the resources to break the thing that you can spam me with because, like, I'm not going to be able to keep up with that. And it's like, oh, and all your friends cast rune cage on me at the same time. It's like, okay, well, I can't do anything against that.
I honestly, I guess maybe I'm past that time because I've not run across a single Slodes person.
Oh yeah,
one.
that's
it's
long dead. No, that got brought down, and everybody's like, "Well, better never use it again because now it's not completely broken."
Right. Yeah, no, I've not even touched it, to be frank.
Yeah.
So that was all I really did on my main because I cannot do Murkmire. I tried. I signed in.
Still can't do it.
I just can't do it. No, I legitly cannot do Murkmire.
I don't even bother trying anymore.
I don't. Honestly, I don't think it's so much the Argonians, because some of the Argonians are kind of neat. Yeah, it's probably Argonians. It's the zone itself.
Really?
I don't.
Yeah,
Zone design. It just doesn't do it for me.
At least
Okay, well,
it's a side story though, so it's less mission critical than the others.
Yeah.
it is
So
like
you have that benefit.
Yeah, I don't know, but I like enjoyed the whole like Indiana Jones type feel of like going into like
being a
these-
treasure hunter.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I was like a little child. Like I said, I like cut off all social engagement when I was in Murkmire. I was like, don't talk to me. I'm in Murkmire. Like, leave me alone.
I'm
Like,
searching
I
for
love
crystal
it.
skull.
Yeah, I'm like, this is what I'm here for. Like, I loved every second of it. But I also really like the Argonians, as we've already
Right, you
established.
also-
So
Right. It's a double win for you.
yeah,
I think
I
I
just-
just figured out what's wrong with my microphone, by the way.
Oh.
I'm using
What?
it backwards.
oh no.
Wow.
I've been like... I'm sorry for cutting the story off, by the way, but all this time,
I'm more
ever since I switched to my new desk, I'm like, something's wrong with my microphone, and I'm going into software, I'm going into my filters, nothing makes sense.
backwards will do it.
Yeah.
All this time in my previous desk, my microphone was coming from the right side. Now it's coming from the left side, so the front is
It's inverted,
on the
yeah.
other side. Yeah. Oh man.
So are you gonna fix it, or are we just gonna roll with it because you made all your changes already?
If I can turn. No. Yep.
Wow,
Oh,
you
you
said
already
it'll have to
sound
stay for
better.
you.
Yeah,
Wow.
holy crap, that is like a world of difference. You're not kidding.
Yeah.
All
I mean,
right.
But it could mess up with the audio levels if I change this. So I'm not sure if I should.
I think we did go over the fact that this episode's a dumpster fire right out the gate anyways.
Yes, you're correct. I'll
Yep.
just rotate it like
I'm-
this.
See,
And now
I
it
made
should be better.
Yeah, no, it's
wow.
totally
Yeah,
different. Holy
okay.
crap. Yeah, it was. But see, I made a joke about you steering the ship for the first time in my tweet, and apparently my next GIF needs to be the Titanic crashing directly.
Oh, yeah,
when I
totally. I feel
That's
like
where this is going.
I feel like I should just be like saluting, and the water's coming up over my neck. Bubble, 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 bubble.
To be
There is
honest,
not enough
it's an honest mistake.
Yeah, actually, and you sound unbelievably different now. That is much more clear.
I might be too loud though, so let's try to adjust that just a tad bit. I'm gonna lower myself. Couple
That's
decibels.
so
This should
funny.
be.
Well, you ask what you wanted to call this episode for a title. So dumpster
Shipwreck?
fire sounds amazing. Tamriel
Right.
dumpster fire.
Yep, that
Gabrielle
works.
dumpster fire.
You're welcome.
Oh man. Well, at least I mean, see, doing a show at 7 a.m. on a Saturday morning fixed my audio issue. This is.
Ta-da.
All right, you may continue. I'm sorry. Sorry for derailing entirely.
It's good. I think
Yeah,
I lost
I-
where we were at.
Yeah,
we're
what,
talking about-
no, Aggelos was on his Tales of the Pest.
Yeah.
Couldn't do Murkmire. That's where this derailed. Wow,
Yeah.
that derailed
Oh
a
yeah.
long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it did. Like 20 minutes ago.
Holy crap!
Did you notice? I think we seem to derail every time Murkmire comes up, and I'm
that's
starting to notice a trend.
We can't only
That's-
not like we. It's not that we can't do the quests. It's that we can't even talk about Murkmire. It's the-
We
I
can't
know.
even seem to focus on the story of Murkmire talking, let alone do it.
Yeah. I just
How
as soon as
weird.
you get to Murkmire, you're just like, well, this is crap. Let's talk about anything else.
What am I doing? Yeah, I've lost
Or
my
you might
way.
stop- Yeah. That's what happened. Anyway, so my Templar is essentially shelved until the next until Elsewhere comes out,
Mhm.
because I can't do Murkmire. I don't know. I just can't do it.
it's
Well,
the-
actually,
yeah,
I guess
it's
there's 2
definitely
dungeon
Argonians.
DLC coming out next. So.
That's true. Yeah, those
Oh,
will be
yeah.
out soon.
Yeah.
Sounds like fun.
Yeah, so those will be cool. So he's shelved. So I was like, I need something to do for Tales. So I was inspired by the one, the only Lotus of Doom. And now,
oh my God.
not only do we have the Tales of Arkhaniir, we now have Tales of Arkhaniir.
The dynamic duo.
Magicka Templar.
Wonderful.
In full plate mail and a two-handed weapon.
Yes.
Yes.
I made this thing as legitly bad as you can think.
Yeah.
He is now level 11.
Excellent. Good start.
Yeah. He still has not left Kinarthi's Roost.
Oh, so he does fight for the Dominion as well, I see.
Oh yeah, he's totally Dominion.
Course.
Yeah.
Can I just kick him out of
PvP,
Discord?
And like I was gonna like go into PvP and then just dance. Like literally go up to a fight while everyone else is fighting. I'm just gonna dance.
Okay, to be honest, that's not something bad. Like,
I
you
would
go out
stand
there
up,
and
but I'm
dance.
not wearing pants. So
I will say, Lotus and I were in a group for Mid-Year Mayhem, and he did do that while we were teaching a key.
Exactly.
Yeah, no.
I mean,
people did not know how to respond to when I was doing that.
Yeah.
I was
Dancing
playing the
with-
lute while people were dumping oil on me, and we were sieging the gate. And people were like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "Oh, I'm a distraction. This is just what I do."
I can't do anything.
Yeah, I don't do damage, so I distract with my face.
with my face. I will have to provide a screenshot for him next week because I took our main host's beautiful face and I used that as a guide for what I wanted Arkhaniir to look like.
would you look at that? We cannot show any screenshots on the show anymore. Technical difficulties, fellas.
No. It'll be posted to Twitter everywhere. I've already emailed it to Gina and Jess. We're gonna do a character spotlight on the main website for Arkhaniir.
Yes.
If you actually pull that off, I'd be impressed.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
on.
I was gonna say that would be very funny.
That's a challenge that was just accepted.
Yeah.
Someone hold my beer because this is going down, right?
Yeah.
Use literally all the clout I have on the internet to pull as many strings as
I'm
possible.
pulling every internet favor. I'm where's my wallet? I gotta get that business card out from Bethesda. I gotta make some phone calls. Yeah, so he's been running around messing with the Khajiit. I had an RP conversation with the guy in what is he? He's the Khajiit. I guess he's the Altmer who is resurrecting all the people in the one shrine. So while doing the quest and just like auto attacking him, I'm typing in chat going, I'm only doing this as a pretense. I totally agree you should resurrect these zombie cats because why wouldn't you?
Because why wouldn't you?
Yeah, I mean, legitly.
Valid enough reason.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm like having thoughts in my head of like, well, so if we do a zombie cat, is there cat litter grave dust? Like that. These are the thoughts that are going through my head.
Do they need cat litter?
That's true.
I mean, it depends. If it's a zombie, they still eat stuff. I mean, they may not process it, but they would still eat it, right?
But do they excrete it?
Right.
I mean,
no, maybe it just sits in their gut.
Yeah,
this would
all
go
half
into
zombie.
Or like falls out of their stomach, maybe like just
As they rot, it just falls out the other side.
just tumbles back out the front.
Oh, can you imagine the zombie Khajiit like trying to clean itself and like lick itself, and then it like falls apart when it's licking itself?
It licks off a hip.
Big chunk of skin just comes off. Yeah.
As a disclaimer, this time it wasn't my fault that we got into this topic, and
well,
it was all Founder himself. Do not blame me.
Yeah. Now, this is the best part about Ark having to now produce the show is I can legitly say and just be part of the show and do whatever I want, and Ark now has to deal with editing and producing the show.
I can't imagine keeping us on the rails. It seems impossible.
Well, yeah, that's Ark's job. He's supposed to keep us on the rails. So,
well, it wasn't in my contract that you made me sign. So,
sir.
If the main show is the path, we are lost in the weeds of Murkmire.
Yeah, again.
Yeah, again.
I just remember signing off my soul. Okay, nothing more. That was it. That was the contract. Nothing else.
But don't you remember the bottom of the contract? Other duties as assigned. That pretty much just gives me leeway for. So
what? I don't remember reading that.
Yeah, you always put other duties as assigned because you just got to make sure that that's always available. Really got to read that fine print there, bud. But yeah, so that's a thing.
Well, I strongly approve.
Yeah,
you know why I think Ag has this character now? It's not to mock me. He's just using like the cover of mocking me to cover up his desire to play the Aldmeri Dominion storyline, and we just lost Lotus, and all the cameras are now gone. Oh, he's back.
I will say
that was weird.
The Dominion has some like really pretty zones. Like there is a spot when you go into Cyrodiil, right inside one of the gates, and there's like this really pretty like river and like trees, and it's actually really kind of serene and peaceful. So aside from elves, since we all don't like them.
No, it's pretty bad.
Very specifically just Altmer. I can deal with the others.
Yeah, I mean, wood elves are
either,
okay.
Except
but they're okay.
I'm down for their battlefield cleaning methods of just eat them.
You know, that's true.
Just eating everything. That's pretty hardcore.
The meat mandate is probably the best thing that's ever happened. I'm a little scared though, because
why?
You wouldn't really want to date one because
it's like a praying mantis.
Okay,
that could just go completely nuts. Anyway,
let's not derail that much, and I'm gonna take the microphone off of you, Ag, and give it to Lotus instead. Lotus, what have you been up to? I'll just stop Ag because.
Well, we're going from one version of your alternate person to another version of your alternate person. I unfortunately, like I had joked last time, I had a ton of time to play PvP because I was basically laid up with the flu all last week. Well, unfortunately, this week I was largely crushed by work, so I had way less time to play as I was trying to do damage control from the previous week. But couple things I just managed to do. I haven't started the new Legends expansion, but they just dropped a Sheogorath expansion for TES Legends.
Ooh, yeah.
The only thing I do know about it, which I immediately want to get, is the Fork of Horripilation is now a card. Which is fantastic for anybody that played Morrowind, because that's the stupidest weapon that's ever existed. But I'm trying to get that. I like to buy. I mean, I bought the Dark Brotherhood with actual money because the game is free. So I was like, okay, well, I'll give you some money because I like it. But since then, I just pay for everything with in-game gold. So nice. I don't buy any of the expansions. I just earn them. And I need like 60 gold or something super trivial. And I can get the new expansion for free again. So hopefully I'll be able to try that out because it looks kind of interesting. And although I'm not great at that game, it's a really fun time killer while you're just waiting at something or whatever. It's a great phone game. So, but yeah, my only real gameplay that I got to do for my Tales is still no luck with my last piece. We were talking pre-show. I got That's several more pieces of the globe. Still not the one I need, but I had finally had enough of doing the loop in Sunhold. So after we had talked about the show where you and I were trying to remember with Abner Tharn what happened and all that stuff speculation-wise, I realized I didn't remember as much about the main story, so I started it over with Guarani.
Oh man.
So he's decided to save the world, and right out the gate, I got to see something I had never seen before since I played at launch. You have an intro video now when you start it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Where you're captured by cultists and they stab you.
Yes.
Yep.
Oh, they have that for a
so
while.
cool.
I think I had heard somebody told me that came out with Morrowind or whatever.
Mhm.
That's how little it is because I don't play alts, so I've only experienced it when that was how the game started.
Yeah.
And it was so weird to intentionally trigger it. I was like, oh, because you get like set up in the house and stuff, and then they like grab you. I was like, oh, this is awesome. I never even knew this was like part of the thing. This is so cool. So Arkhaniir was killed very unceremoniously.
Finally. I'm so sorry. Excuse me.
But yeah, it's been so long since I've played it. I got I re-met Lyris and the starter things. Got back out of Cold Harbor. I still remember how much fun it was when I first looked at that place because you'd never seen Cold Harbor before. That place is really well designed. Like that, yeah, it gets kind of depressing while you're just roaming around at the end of the game. But like when you're first in that prison, that is really cool looking in there. So I like that quite a bit. And the only thing that I'm very curious on, because again, this is probably why I didn't accomplish more. My curiosity got the better of me. I noticed there were a lot of level 3s running around. Now I know you start at level 3, but I'm like, these have to be alts or something, right? Because I'm walking around up level 48, which was a little awkward when I was in the whaling prison. I was like, hey everybody, you don't belong here. But so I started bringing up the PlayStation menu, and you can check their trophies, and it will tell you how many trophies the person has. And I'm thinking these people have to be running alts or something. I'm very curious what the player count to this game is, because out of the 13 people I checked, all of them were brand new players.
Whoa.
Not a single one of them had anything unlocked in the game except start the game trophy. Like, do the first page of the chapter, it clicks something. A couple of them had that and nothing more. And I'm like, so these are all new players to ESO? That's just weird. So I'm curious if they're going to announce numbers again this year, because last year
we did just have the Elsewhere.
Right. Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah. We did just have the Elsewhere stream, so that was over 150,000 people watching at the same time.
Crazy.
That must have brought in some new players.
Yeah, because I was just very surprised to see that many new, confirmed new players, or they're buying new accounts, which I'm like, okay, well, that's a little too unlikely. That people are just so I was just like, wow, I can't believe there's this many new people to ESO. Yeah. That's actually kind of cool to see. So
I've been seeing a lot of low-level champion people too, which equates to basically the same thing.
You're new, right? You can't fake champion levels not existing.
Yeah, I did City of Ash. I did Vet City of Ash 2 today, and there was a 190 and a 1. He was just over 160, but enough to be over cap. But I was like, I was like, that is bold, because I didn't go in there until I was max rank, and the dungeon still terrifies me. I don't know why, but
yeah, the maw used to just ruin everything.
Yeah, and so, but I mean, it went well. We finished it. We did hard, but it was no problem. But I was like, I'm shocked at how many new people I'm seeing, and it's cool. It's awesome.
It is. It's kind of interesting. Just to, I don't know. For some reason, I guess I assumed that it had kind of maybe plateaued a bit where it was, and it's no, apparently there are new people, and that's, I guess, one of the few benefits to console. You can very easily check to see if somebody's new or they're experienced but running an alt, because it's got the built-in trophies on the system. And I just couldn't believe it. Everybody I started it started with just one or two, and then I was just like, these people are all new, so I started just doing it to everybody. I'm like, holy crap, they're all new. I don't understand. So but yeah, so I don't know. I'm actually kind of excited to keep going through that story, because I forgot how interesting. It's really amusing so far. So I'm actually pretty excited to go through the rest of it now that I've started it again. Kind of do a refresher.
I actually want a full-on main story, like the original main story, like expansion story, not with the a more involved Daedra, you know. I mean, Somerset had what was it, Nocturnal?
Nocturnal.
Yeah,
Actually, had
yeah.
Nocturnal,
Mephala.
Ravagous Vile, and Menphala.
Oh yeah, but they weren't
Yeah.
as involved as Molag Bal was in the
Yeah, he was
original
just a
main story.
douche.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. The later ones didn't give me that same feeling, but it is what it is, I suppose. Maybe with Elsewhere, with dragons, that Ag's favorite, you know.
They're not dragons.
Oh
Wyverns.
yeah,
Yes.
sorry, yeah, Wyvern or W dragons.
W
as we-
dragons. I believe was the
W dragons,
definition.
yeah. W dragons.
W dragons.
W dragons.
Promethean, what about you? Have you played any ESO?
I have not played a lot similar to Lotus. I was actually on vacation, so I can't play much. However, I realized that the only thing that could potentially ever make my Elder Scrolls experience better is an Elder Scrolls theme park, because I realized how much I enjoyed the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, and nothing can top my joy as a little child there. So now that the event is over, I was doing that for the event tickets. I just go in and grab my tickets and come out. But I'm back to like doing my dailies and doing just the typical like keeping up with my character stuff. I did like Murkmire prep dailies today because I really want that title. And those are just like mind-numbingly boring, and I can just sit here and like listen to an episode of Ardcast or like the Lore Seekers, or whatnot, or do homework or something that I don't need to have my full attention on the game with. And then I've been doing some pug dungeons because I love a certain form of punishment in this game that is those. However, they have been going fantastic, knock on wood, because I tend to have pretty good luck with those. I got into a group earlier today. We cleared like Banished Cells 2 hard mode in like 20 minutes, and
Nice.
cruised
That's
on
a
out of
nice
there.
bug right
And
there.
the DPS was like, "Do you want to go do Ruins of Mazatu?" And I was like, "Sure." And so we queued up, and it never popped, but I was like, "I'm always down for more dungeons." That's just like, love it. So yeah, that's all I've been doing though. I don't have a whole lot. Hope this week I've been in game way more and doing a whole bunch of crazy stuff in there. So hopefully I'll have more tales next week.
All right.
Fair.
Yeah. I mean,
Ark, what about you?
how dare you take my line away?
What? No. You're the host. So you introduced all of us. Now you need someone to introduce.
Yeah, but we never
you.
introduced you.
Well,
when you were
because
the
I've been doing
host.
it, so-
What's up? So
I don't want you to be forgotten.
yeah, okay, well, that's fine. So I've been tanking the PTS dungeons for Ophelia Noir. So we were just doing them with just Nika DPSing and me tanking on normal. That is not the not veteran. I would not dare that punishment upon myself yet. And I gotta say, especially the Frostvault dungeon, they are it's fun. It's so much fun. It's the one with the dwarven, like, ancient Dwemer ruins frozen up inside the mountain. And it's just so much fun. The mechanics, there are lasers, a lot of lasers involved. And at one point it feels like you are in, I don't know, a Tom Cruise action movie trying to avoid lasers in a museum that you are trying to steal something from. That sort of, it's just, it's a lot of fun.
Sounds accurate.
And even on normal, both dungeons, even on normal, they are deadly. They are
That's what I've heard, is they're very...
Yeah, even on normal.
And I mean, yeah, even with the last ones, I mean, these are meant to mess with you.
Yeah.
At this point.
It's like, yeah, go ahead.
I was just chilling out on when I was in Florida. We had nothing to do, so I turned on. Allcast happened to be streaming Frostvault, and that final boss looks punishing. I was just watching them like wipe, and I was like, "Oh gosh!"
They were on veteran, though, right?
I
they
don't
probably
know,
are. If it's Allcast, and if Allcast was wiping, they are on veteran.
Yeah, that's what I figured. But it just looks like punishing. I was like, this is like, this looks like a blast and a half, and I was like, I'm definitely going to be in that release day, but I'm going to be in for it.
But yeah, I mean, even on normal, it's challenging. Well, I mean, we were only 2 people, so that adds to the challenge as well.
Right, cutting your team in half. I mean, when we do stuff like that, you cut your team down, it's like, oh man, this is going kind of slow. Oh right, we're half a dungeon team.
I mean, yeah, but I can only imagine how painful these will be on veteran. I'm looking forward to it nonetheless. As we all know, #FU Finn. Even though we love him, it's a love-hate relationship with the lead dungeon designer. But I definitely recommend going into PTS and checking them out because it's so much fun. I also broke the game at one point in the other dungeon, not Frostwall.
Better.
Yeah, I'm breaking everything. I can't help it.
Hey, you're just effectively testing, is what you mean.
So the game was freezing every now and then. Like, it would freeze totally. I don't know if it was my computer, but it only happened in that specific boss fight. The game would freeze, including everything on my PC. I don't know how it could affect everything on my PC. I don't know if there was a memory leak or whatever. I don't know. And then for a few seconds, I wouldn't have any control. And then I would just, like, everything plays super fast. And if I'm dead, I'm dead. If not, I try to balance everything out again.
I know what you're talking about.
Rubber band.
And as that was happening, I fell off the map and started, like, just going down while watching Nika fight alone with, like, bosses and mobs. And I was like, and she's streaming this, and she's yelling like, "Ark, I'm dying. Where, like, what are you doing?" And I'm like, falling off the map.
Why aren't you being a tank, you know?
Why aren't you tanking? I'm busy dying.
And I'm like, yeah, I'm falling off the map. I'm not there.
I'm falling through the floor.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, falling through the floor.
Yeah, I'm very excited to.
Tanking
I'm very
gravity.
excited to try these.
Is it Depths of Malatar? I think I'm really excited for that one. Dwarven, I'm actually really excited that we get to see Thoraya again. Like, when I read that in the patch notes that she's coming back, like, I had a mini, like, fan attack.
Is she like the one from Volenfell?
Yeah, it's her.
Okay, that's what
Quintus Varys. Her husband tries to kill her, and she's like, "You can't even poison people well." And it's just like, I just love the whole thing, and I'm super excited to see both of them back.
Yeah, no, that's very cool. I like the tie-in.
Mm-hmm.
That was mainly my Tales, though. But since it's a good way to go into our news, because our news are entirely made up of the PTS and the upcoming Wrathstone DLC preview, which I will let Ag take over as the newscaster because I'm sick and I can't speak for too long. Actually, I'm gonna take a couple minutes while Ag gets into news, and I'll be back.
Man, I thought I made Promethean. Anyway, all right.
No, he's gonna take a couple minutes. He's just gonna play music over you while he leaves.
That's fine. Actually, in all honesty, I agreed to do it only because we didn't really know you guys were even going to be on.
Yeah, I was gonna say this was kind of a last-minute shuffle today.
Yeah, so it was could you please do the news for me, because I don't know if Promethean's gonna be on. I don't know.
Yeah, and then I was MIA up until about 4 minutes before the show started.
Sounds like a Tales episode.
Yep.
Yeah, no, I mean that's pretty much par for the course.
Right on cue.
Yeah, I don't see an issue with that. Anyway, first and foremost, we're going to go through the news. One of the things that was up, and I'm going to do this first, even though Ark didn't really say he wanted this done first, but guess what? He's not here to tell me no.
That's true.
On the Elder Scrolls Online forum, all right, there was a DPS breakdown spreadsheet that was done, which is actually kind of neat. I know there's been a lot of controversy over some of the changes that have been made, are being made. I know both Lotus and Promethean, you guys looked at this pretty heavily. There will be a link in the description of the podcast below, but it's pretty neat. They actually show what the average DPS is based on the racial changes. What are you guys seeing from this?
You want to go first for me?
Okay.
You can go first. Yeah.
So overall, other than being extremely envious of whoever is pulling 60,000 damage,
in a full raid environment, I generally can pull that. At least I did.
Super envious, but it doesn't seem the large amount of backlash that is coming from these racial changes is not reflected in this. Like, it is extremely, I think they're taking it to a level that does not need to be taken to. Even as far as like, so the biggest thing that I noticed as I play a Dunmer Magblade, I love him, he's great. That's like my main tune. I do all my achievements, everything. So it seems like that some of the classes, maybe like on this little bar graph here, it shows that Dunmer are now more suited to play a stamina class, which is super interesting. And like some of the other stuff on here is like really cool, but it's not gonna like drastically change the game the way that I think people feel like it's going to.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just
I
think
kind of
people are
agree
upset
with
that
that.
they're changing their game style, like play styles.
Yes,
they really,
people
though?
don't like change.
Mhm.
And the fact that, like, so, I mean, like you guys, I'm playing this game as a Nord. And one,
Yeah.
we're super not meta. We're the
Oh, yeah.
trash class. And I'm the dump
Actually, I don't think there's a single one that has a lower score than us other than
we're-
Imperial.
Yeah.
Imperial does.
us and Imperials are pretty
Yeah.
bottom of the barrel. So,
Oh no, the Imperials are
Arkhaniir.
worse because we have
Yes.
the same amount of 6s, the same amount of 5s, but we're 3 on everything else, and Imperial are 2.
Okay,
So
too.
Imperial are worse.
Yes. So that's the thing is like I just like because again I've had many interesting discussion with people about stuff, and yes, there are some changes. Whether they matter that much, it does not seem, and that graph seems to show that they're really not changing that much. But you might just need to shift what you do a little bit, is
Mhm.
all. But like some people are brought a little more into line where they're allowed to work, in a few more aspects that they weren't before. But like as a Nord Dragon Knight tank, I'm getting a little bit of a health nerf. Okay.
Yep.
I'm getting a little bit of a stamina nerf. I get more resistance, it looks like, so I can allocate stuff elsewhere if I would like. And I'm getting substantially more ultimate regeneration, which is very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So does that mean my class is broken? I demand a refund. I hate everybody? No, it means that I need to look at what it plays like and just alter a couple things to play either how I want, or maybe I'll just steer more toward an ultimate gen tank. This reminds me a lot of the same fiasco that happened when Morrowind changed the sustain of all the classes, and everybody's like, we can't do damage anymore, this is impossible. And then it hit and everybody's like, okay, we can't sustain damage like we used to, like infinitely, but we do a lot more damage now, so that things die fat. Oh, I guess that actually didn't really change all that much. Things are less drawn out. Like, okay,
My only
we were
issue
yelling about
is-
that for months.
My only issue is High Al's got a buff.
Yeah, so that's my thing. There are 3 specific ones that I'm kind of like, okay, so we didn't change much here. High elves are still basically the best magicka, straight up just power magicka.
Yes.
Yep.
Bretons got nudged up a step where, okay, that 8%, I think it is, like
7%.
7% reduction.
7%.
Holy crap, that is strong. So
Yeah.
they're spammables for days, so they're not the same hitting power necessarily, but they have sustained forever.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have the Redgars, who were the best stand before, and surprise, now they can just sustain forever. Still. Like, that didn't seem to do that much. Now, that isn't necessarily bad because nothing changed.
Mhm.
It
was
it's
already
also
like
still
this,
being
sort of.
tested. Right. So it's like they could still mess with stuff. But currently it's just like, okay, so some of the other classes got a little shuffled around a little bit. But those 3, it's just kind of like, okay, so you guys remain what you were before.
Yeah. Nothing changes.
Yeah, so it's like
at all.
Yeah, just changing the numbers in those situations, it seemed like it was like, okay, but it didn't actually shift much of the dynamic. You just now have the option. You could do a couple more things with your class. Maybe it'll play different when I mess with it, but that's the way it seems for the most part. Minimal changes to play how you still want. That's pretty much it.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what I kind of looked at from the whole thing. Yeah, nothing. I don't know why people are making such a big deal about it, because it really doesn't feel like they changed anything. All the stuff that they should have changed, like legitly should have changed, they didn't change.
Right, like you remove the spinal cord from all Altners so that they can't stand up to defend themselves.
They don't have spines anymore.
I mean, nerf Argonians to the ground, so no one plays an Argonian, and we don't have to see any more of them than necessary. But
well, that funny you mentioned the Argonians. They toned down their
they gotta be
drink buff thing a little bit.
Yeah,
but it's still like
the best.
Okay, that's still the greatest. So it's less the greatest, but still the greatest. So you're still number one. That's like saying, "Oh, I won that game by 57 points instead of 257 points." It's like, well, what is it? Yeah. I mean, whatever.
I mean, funny story about that. When I was trying to make my Warden tank work as a Nord, I was like, "This is so not working. Not like my Dragon Knight." And if you don't know him, Ninja614, he's one of the ESO stream team and a partnered streamer. He's an amazing guy, and he tanks a lot of trials, dungeons, things like that. He's a great tank, and I was like, all right, I'll ask him. I sent him a message on Twitter, and I was like, what am I doing wrong? And I was like, are you doing this? Yeah. Are you doing this? Yeah. I mean, what are your sets? These, they are good. What race are you? I'm a Nord. Well, if you're not Argonian, that there's much you can do.
Well, there's your problem.
Yeah. Oh, exactly. I'm sorry, you did it wrong.
He's like, yep, that's the thing.
Yeah. So that's like Sinister Souls just said in chat. Really, the biggest shift between anybody is that Dunmer now seem to skew very much more towards Stam, which is
interesting.
Yeah, that's
I know a few people who are going to be upset about that.
One of my DPS is very displeased currently.
Our entire Drunkenborn's DPS team is made of Magicka Dunmers. It's like all of them will have to change.
Yeah, that is definitely one that actually seems like a shift.
Yeah.
But otherwise, again, I'll be very curious to see how my character plays once I get my hands on him, as opposed to just hypothetically, like, I think this is going to change. It's like, I'm curious what my resistance difference will be that I need to work on. Like, can I scale back a bunch of crap and put it into something else? Because my resistances are going to spike up? Like, I don't know.
Lotus, I tried it on PTS, and strangely enough, I still had, like, with the same setup, I still had similar resistances.
Did you?
With same champion points. I was like, where did my 4K from my racial passives go? I am supposed to have a lot of resistances right now.
I know it's supposed to be.
I was confused.
Like, it's some of the deep coding which I lose interest in, because I go much more on feel with a lot of the stuff. I believe the new resistances mathematically show up about the equivalent of 6% damage reduction. So your damage reduction is going to be the same, but then if it's going directly into your resistances, wouldn't your resistances shift forward? So then you would scale them back by taking off. Like, I would assume that if I put on my Mighty Chuden set, which I don't use that much because just complete overkill, because like at that point I think I walk around at like 37,000 like unbuffed. If I put that on, I'm like, okay, this is worthless. Like, I'm way over cap. This has no
what
point.
Are your sets? How are you getting 37k on your resistances?
It's so
Saxalar.
It's I use Ebon Plague Doctor, and I have it so that my champion points I have skewed into mine, so that when I have it set, I walk around at cap, so that I actually, the one thing that people have noticed when I do stream is I don't buff to hit cap. I have my champion points skewed so that I walk around at cap.
Okay, so you have like 100 points in heavy armor.
So, yeah, and so that's kind of how I skew it, so that I can not use a skill slot for like what
Spiked
dragon
armor.
scale? Yeah, or
spiked armor.
Exactly. I don't use that. I save an
I
extra
see.
spot to give myself another buff. It's just a change in like, okay, I'd rather actively use a skill and passively not, put it to this or whatever, and just deal with less resources here or whatever. So that's really the only difference.
Yep. That makes sense, yeah. I only have 50 in heavy armor, so I'm missing around 4k from there.
Yep.
All right.
Okay.
What else?
Moving on to the next item in place, we have the Wrathstone and Update 21 preview, which more or less is everything we talked about last week. 2 new dungeons, including Frost Vault and the Depths of Molitar. Those will be out there. One neat thing is, just by entering those dungeons, I don't know why you would want this because it's another filthy elf thing, but you get the Alien Royal Crown hat. So, I mean, that's a thing.
Yeah.
Kind of ugly. However,
I'll put it on Arkhaniir.
I'll put it on. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Arkhaniir is gonna love it. Yeah.
See, this is why I got sick. This is how.
Just sick of hearing our crap.
I will say, whatever armor they're wearing in these screenshots is absolutely stunning, and I'm really looking forward to getting it.
Yeah, I would assume those are the new styles that will eventually come out.
Yeah,
maybe.
That one is really pretty, and I'm really gonna buy it.
Moving on to the next thing, with Update 21 comes a new battleground, Ald Angva. That's what I'm gonna call it. Angva.
That's fine.
That's correct. I don't care what anyone else says. This new arena is located somewhere in place between worlds, aka probably Oblivion. Be sure to watch your feet as you move between the map platforms. Ooh, fun. This update also introduces a new PvP reward, including Arkhaniir Arena Lion Pet, earn with Arena Gladiator proofs. Oh, awesome. And weapon outfit styles that resemble the 3 battleground teams: Pit Demons, Stormlord, and Fire Drakes.
That's pretty cool too.
Yep.
I've almost completed the 3 sets you get from doing Battlegrounds as is when you like win.
Yes.
Yeah, I've almost got those completed. After
I have like 1 or 2 more to do as well.
Yeah, I think that's it. I think I'm missing like 1 or 2 of each of the teams, so I'm like 90% done each team. It's like, damn it.
Yep.
I don't
here.
really like the armor style, but the weapon styles might be really cool. I'm looking forward to
I
it.
like the Fire Drake one. Is it the Fire Drake one or the Pit Demon? I don't know. One of them I think looks great.
One of those teams.
Yes, one team that I clearly swear allegiance to is very cool looking.
Very cool looking.
They just still haven't introduced any armor sets that are better looking than the skin changer heavy armor, in my opinion. So I'm just stuck with it forever.
I don't know what you mean. I'm still totally not walking around in heavy glass on ebony 5 years later.
I think I'm rocking Gladiator right now, to be frank. Or not Gladiator, Mercenary. That was always one of my...
that was your thing, yeah.
I mean, I liked the Wolf Hunter too because I liked the scale mail. It looked really neat. But in the end, I think I went back to Mercenary, and that's just kind of what I'm rocking because I like the Mercenary gear. Of course, new additions with the base game include the new Zone Guide, which we talked about again previously. The Guild Trader UI, which is something that we said they needed to replace since the game came out.
I'm so happy about that. It's unreasonable.
Yeah.
This matters more for console than PC.
Yeah, we don't even get add-ons. If I have to click R2 to go through 17 pages of motifs one more time, I'm gonna lose it.
My eyes start to like zone out, and they like can't focus on the numbers anymore, and I'm like have to turn the game.
It's funny you say that because even with the add-on, I'll tell you guys a little secret. Well, no, it's not that it's broken. It's that it really doesn't. You still have to click through the pages. It's just now when you're searching, it's like page 1, no items found. Page 2, no. It just hides it.
Yeah, see, I just have to scroll down. Luckily, since I own almost all of them, I don't even read them. I scroll down them as fast as possible and just try to catch when the bar gets really long when it says click to use in inventory or click to add to library. It's much longer than you already have this. So it's like when the bar extends really far, it's like, oh crap, that one, I need that one.
Yeah, that's cool. And of course, the new racial passive abilities that we already talked about. Beginning season of the Dragon, Wrathstone does include the year-long story that we'll be seeing leading up to the W Dragon. So, yeah, no, that's what I'm calling from now.
Yeah, no, I like the W Dragons.
I like the W Dragon. I think that's good.
Covers all the bases.
Yeah, W Dragons. Yeah, that is a thing. And the final thing we have is the patch notes on the PTS version 4.3.0.
Although,
how in depth do you want me to go with this?
Actually, we could leave this for another time. Next week, if you don't have anything to talk about news-wise, we can go over the changes in detail. Although I do want to mention one thing. This is kind of the hot topic from the PTS. The Curse Eater set. Everyone's this has been the, as far as I can see, the Sloth's semblance of this patch.
Really? I haven't heard about this.
Okay, listen to this.
Been yelling at me about racials.
This is gonna make us Lotus in PvP. This is for PvP. This is gonna make me, I think, immortal, or any Dragon Knights, or any tanky.
I like where this is going already.
Yeah, this will be one annoying set, in my opinion. I will abuse this. So the Curse Eater set,
you say?
Yeah, formerly it was just maximum health, maximum magicka recovery, reduces the duration of all negative effects applied to you by 20%. It was pretty much, you're not gonna use it set. Now, it gives maximum magicka recovery, which are pretty much useless for us. But when you heal yourself or an ally, remove 2 negative effects from them. If a negative effect was removed this way, your target restores 150 magicka. This effect can occur every 2 seconds. So every time you cast Vigor, you will remove, or Vigor or Green Dragon Blood, whatever, you will remove 2 negative effects from yourself or an ally. And you can combine this with that one set, I think it was Soldier of Anguish. Hold on, let me quickly check.
Okay. I mean, that's helpful for you guys, but in all reality, like, Templars had that all the time anyway with ritual retribution.
Well, the only thing that I can think of adding to one of the parts of the racials we didn't discuss too much is a lot of people get like a specific immunity or reduction to something. And as is, I mean, this is a family-friendly show, so my immediate reaction I will not describe, but my immediate reaction to, I'm immune to the chilled status effect in PvP.
Yeah.
Take that, all of you permafrost users. Welcome to my
See, chilled, poison, damage over time. You know, I don't know if you can, bleeding counts as a negative effect, but
I already have that gone, and if I use a Curse Eater and I can dump too, wow, I'm gonna be just like an anti-CC machine.
Yeah.
I mean, that's been the hot discussion as far as I could see, at least in the people that I talk to, that Curse Eater should not go live like this. But if I remember correctly, I couldn't find it right away without typing heavily on my keyboard and causing a lot of keyboard noises. There's a set that gives you major protection every time you remove a negative effect from an ally or something like that. Okay. If I recall correctly, Galaxner actually came up with it. Like, you use that set, and then you use this, you have major protection all the time, 30% damage reduction. It's immortality, basically.
Yeah, it's immortality.
But yeah, I couldn't find that set. If anyone knows in chat, or if any of you knows, let me know. But yeah, so Curse Eater is going to
very
be
interesting. Where do I get? Okay, next question. Oh, wonderful!
Yeah, it's one of the old Cyrodiil sets that no one was using.
Great. So I assume I can just squander some of my AP piles that I built up that I have no purpose to. I'll just buy all that crap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, this one, I don't know. Not having negative effects. Negative effects are the thing that kills me most of the time, like bleeding, things like that. Not having that, also Discord froze.
Good.
There we go.
Good.
All right, you're all back. All the cameras
fine.
froze.
Mine restarted a little while ago. Discord's doing a great job tonight.
I haven't seen Aggelos literally the entire stream since we started, so it's good.
Why is that?
A little black. I don't know. It's just a little black square on my screen.
Oh.
Yeah.
He just filtered you, Ag, in his brain.
Probably, yeah.
Put a filter.
I could have.
It was the pants off, dance off thing. He just became a little black square, just a sensor bar.
Yeah, no, I'm just a giant. Yeah, as I said, hey, I have no pants on.
Discord is auto censoring.
Well, I mean, Promethean is the baby of the group. They immediately went, no child protection.
You are the youngest of the group.
They child protected you, man.
Yeah.
I kept getting up to grab something, no pants on. Oh,
Discord was
can't see
offended.
that. You're too young.
Discord, the little wumpus was offended by it.
The little wumpus.
This doesn't like my body, apparently. Oddly enough, though, it didn't block it for anyone else. So
everybody else is fine with it, apparently.
Trying to keep Promethean's virtue intact. That's all.
My innocence.
Oh, man.
Your innocence.
Yeah.
Wow. Anyway, there we are. That was all the news that we had on the list.
I don't like that last bit because I didn't know about that last bit. I learned something.
Well, that brings us to the end of the show then. Ag, where can people find you?
You can follow me over at DungeonCrawlerNetwork.com. There you can find links to all of our social media, including Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook.
I do the outro well then. It works for me.
I love how it just goes into
legitly, where do you find me?
You are literally the outro. That is
literally the outro, yeah.
Do you have that memorized?
I do.
All right, hold on to your thoughts then. Lotus, where can people find you?
I am Lotus of Doom on Twitter, or begrudgingly, I am Lotus OD on Twitch. I will fix that one day. Listen to me, Twitch. This is gonna happen. Getting sick of you, Amazon. I will fix this at some point, but for the meantime, I'm Lotus OD over there. So.
Just one day walks up to Jeff Bezos at like front door and says, "Give me my nickname."
Just give me my name.
Promethean, what about you?
You can find me on Twitter at Promethean99 and on PlayStation if you want. Also the same exact thing.
All right. Well, you can find me or anywhere that is Arkhaniir, ARKHANIIR, because it's a made-up name. I have to spell it. I'm on twitch.tv/Arkhaniir, twitter.com/Arkhaniir, and Ag, you can do the intro.
And you can follow everything we do over at DungeonCrawlerNetwork.com. There you find links to all of our social Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. Be sure to check out our Patreon program, patreon.com/DungeonCrawlerNetwork. If you want to help support the show, you can also do that by leaving us a 5-star review on iTunes. That lets people know that we are a real podcast, that we say real words. Sometimes they matter. Thank you so much for joining us on this episode of Tales of Arkhaniir, Tales of Tamriel, and Arkhaniir, and we'll see you next time.
Have a good night, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
See you guys.
When Akatosh slew Lorcan, he ripped his heart right out. He hurled it across Tamriel, and the heart was heard to shout, red diamond, the heart and soul of men. Red diamond, protect us till the end. The laughing heart sprayed blood afar, a gout on Seer it fell, and like a dart shot to its mark down in an alien well. Magicka fused the Lorcan blood to crystal red and strong. when wild elves cut and polished it down to chimel at a ball. Red diamond, the heart and soul of men. Red diamond, protect us till the end. When elves lost Nirn to men, Akatosh gave the stone to Saint Alesh in token of her right to sit the throne. Red diamond, the heart and soul of men. Red diamond, protect us till the end. Red diamond, protect us till the end.